So you guys, I fucking told you I'll be back. Fuck, I don't want to leave this series going dying, guys. So let's get this shit fucking done, guys. Part 3, Resident Evil Iceberg, let's fucking go. Knife only runs. So yeah, guys, this intro is just talking about, you know, how some of the mainline games, well, not some of them, but pretty much every game Resident Evil has released has a, like, you know, a system where you use a knife in the game, and you can just pretty much roll with it. So, you know, sometimes, depending on the game, the ending might require you to use a different gun. For example, like, RE2 with the rocket launcher. I'm not gonna spoil you guys what happens, but rocket launcher. Let's see, the ending of RE7. You know, with the pistol. Well, technically, I don't even consider the pistol more like a super pistol, if anything. But that's pretty much about it. There's some other, like, you know, extraneous scenarios where, like, they do something different. But I think some other games that I'm aware of that don't include melee, or they're not traditional campaign games, are like, I think Umbrella, not Chronicles. Chronicles, they use a knife system, but you can't really use that like by itself. Like, you'll get killed. You need to use the pistol. And then also the Resident Evil Survivor, I'm aware that there's no knife in that system. I think just a pistol and I think rocket launcher, right, if I'm not mistaken. Also, through my experience, guys, like, these runs are pretty hard to do. I know for, like, I think remaster, it's pretty annoying. It's not that bad, but it's just really annoying. I remember I did mine with invisible enemy mode. Actually, it's funny, I did the two achievements at the same time where you have to get just melee and invisible enemies. That shit's stupid, guys. The tyrant fire, like like the earlier ones, like, what the fuck? That shit's dumb as hell. Sheva was originally Rebecca. Okay, guys, for this one, I couldn't find a conclusive answer for this one. I found that, you know, in Vendetta, the movie, Resident Evil Vendetta, originally they were supposed to have Sheva as Rebecca, but they're like, nah, because the continuity with the vaccine, whatever. They're like, nah, Rebecca is more a better fit. And then for some other ones, I saw a bunch of forums of, like, mods. People were like, hey, guys, I want to have Rebecca as my main character instead of Sheva. And that's pretty about it. There's also some, like, you know, personal opinions. People were like, oh, I wanted Rebecca instead of Sheva, but I don't really see any kind of, like, director commentary or anything like that saying how the stories would be written a different way. But if you guys find anything, let me know. Sweet Home. Essentially what this is, it's a game made by Capcom back in 1989, and it's pretty much like the big inspiration for, like, the new Resident Evil games these days. You know, the big mansion, the puzzles, like, everyone loves the puzzles. Yeah, that's pretty about it. It's just, I guess, big inspiration to, like, what will become for, you know, the future Resident Evil games. I know not all of them have the same format, but, you know, the puzzle part, it is. But essentially, if you guys want to know what the game itself is, essentially a group of people go into a mansion to explore it, and then you already know bad stuff's going to happen. And, you know, puzzles, then multiple endings. Yeah, I haven't played it, guys, personally, but I've seen gameplay of it and speedruns, and I think it's pretty cool. If you guys don't like old school stuff and, like, RPG old style of, like, 2D art and all that stuff like that, I don't know if you guys are up for that sort of thing, but I think it's pretty cool. If I ever had a chance to play it, because I understand there's, like, I guess, the English patch for people that haven't created, I'll play it. Wesker's Report. So back before any, like, the remakes happened, anything of that nature, like for the old games, this counts for RE1, 2, and 3, the original ones, not the new ones. So essentially, this is like a story told by Wesker's part, like, you know, his perspective, from his planning, what he did, and he pretty much recounts all this, you know, the situations of RE1, 2, and 3 through his eyes, kind of, in a way. It's pretty interesting if you guys want to look at it, but I'm not sure if it's canon or not. From what I see, I couldn't really see online if this is canon or not, but with all the new remakes, I don't think this is gonna really fit anymore. But it's still an interesting thing to look at. I forgot I mentioned that this piece of media is only available through, I guess, pre-order of Code Veronica and something else. It's like 5th anniversary. I'm not too sure what that was, but some sort of Resident Evil event thingamabobby where they had, like, a 5th anniversary thing, special package. I'm not too sure about what that is, but that's pretty much where this comes from. Gender switching tyrant. So what this is referring to is in Resident Evil Dead Aim, there's I guess a villain called Morphus D. Duvan. I think that's the way you pronounce his name. I'm sorry, guys. You know I'm really bad at pronouncing names, but essentially, pretty much the main antagonist of that game. You find him at the end. He injects himself with something called the T+G virus. Essentially, you guys already know what that means. Essentially, those two viruses mix together, and it kind of makes this weird, I guess, tyrant-forming virus, but that has, like, a weird gender swap to it. It's pretty odd. There's not really too much of explanation of what's going on. Besides that, it does have qualities of gender bending, I guess. Oh, the title of this name is Entry, and that's pretty about it. You fight this guy at the end of the game, and that's pretty about it. RE5's racism controversy. Guys, before I started reading this, I never even thought, like, first of all, I didn't really think of this when I was like playing this game, but in RE5 I didn't think it was racist, but since I got this, entry, I was doing the research, I was like, what the heck? Now I think about it, like, this is kind of like like, this does fuel some kind of like racism ideology, you know what I'm saying? Because from what I see in a bunch of articles, they're just like, I guess, game journalists, which that's another story for a different day. But essentially, there's a bunch of, like, I guess, news articles saying how Resident Evil 5 is racist because the portrayal of, of Africans, and like how we shoot black people in the game, and like something. I'll see some really weird snippets how, like, supposedly in the game you can see I guess, infected Africans, I guess, beating up some kind of sack of meat or something like that. If you guys search this up, you'll guys find it from what I'm talking about. But it's really weird, guys. When I was playing this game, I never thought anything like racism. Like, I never thought like, oh, I'm shooting a black guy, it's racist. But I never thought it was slightest. I just thought I was shooting monsters. You know what I'm saying? But now I got the core of it just at face value. I'm like, yeah, this does kind of root down some kind of racist nature. But yeah, it's pretty much all this entry's talking about. I was like, I'm sorry for the recording for this part. I don't know why my mic started like popping like that, but I don't know, guys. I was trying not to do that for the next entry. The merchant's infected. Theory time, baby. Alright, guys, so this one's like a fan theory. People theorize that the merchant from Resident Evil 4 could possibly have Las Plagas. Pretty much a lot of the arguments say that, like, because he's in the area and he doesn't act like any of the, rest of the enemies in the game. He's like different. Also, guys, I see a lot of arguments. People are pretty much saying that his eyes are pretty much the main reason why they think he has Las Plagas, because they're glowing like orange. And that's pretty much about it. I haven't played the new remake of Resident Evil 4, so I'm not sure if they changed that or maybe add some new continuity. But from what I understand, just because this entry is based off the old Resident Evil 4, because at the time, from what I recall, this entry wasn't created during that time. But I don't know, guys, if you guys know anything else besides this. Well, not really, guys. This is more of like a fan theory. You can't really could document any more stuff or like anything else on this, because it's kind of just it's unknown. There's not really much information the game give to us on this kind of like situation. Sewer gators. Essentially what this is, if you guys haven't played Resident Evil 7, early in the game you guys meet this I guess this crew that pretty much make a show. What they do is they go over paranormal activities, strange sightings, and whatnot. That's pretty much how they pose in the game. It consists of 3 members. Well, as of recent, like, when you play the game, there's a new member, Clancy, but pretty much the main phase of them, they all die. Even Clancy, even though there's like some kind of like mini game that pretty much Clancy survives, depending on what you play, 21 or what's the other one where pretty much she's running away from Mia. But that's pretty much the videotape one, but. Or the one we surviving against Jack. Yeah, there's a bunch of like what if scenarios, but from what we know canonly, he dies. And the other 2 guys, let me name the guys real quick. We have Peter Walken and Andre Strickland. Essentially, Andre is the camera guy, and Peter is pretty much like the guy that does like the showbiz part. He pretty much presents everyone to the audience. And that's pretty about it. Clancy at the time, he's, I guess, a new hire. But even though we have like a picture of a magazine, like for I think the script book, whatever. In one of the documents, I showed you guys here pretty much early on, like the Sewer Gator page. That's pretty much about it. They all die. I guess canonly they all die, even though Clancy can sometimes survive depending on which minigame you play on. But that's pretty much about it. Dark Souls 2 graphics. Dang, guys, I couldn't find anything on this one. I looked around the internet, whenever on the web. I couldn't find anything on this one besides a bunch of Dark Souls 2 like I guess downgrades. If you guys don't know, Dark Souls 2, that Souls game that everyone hates from the series. I personally, I don't know, guys, probably gonna kill me for this, but it's my favorite out of all Dark Souls games. I haven't played Demon Souls, so you can't really, I guess, doubt me on that one. But I've seen gameplay of it, speedruns, and I pretty much watched a bunch of that stuff. But guys, what I did find is that supposedly, I guess, for remake of Resident Evil 2, it was supposed to look more better looking, if that makes any sense. Maybe this is where this, I guess, entry derives from. But then again, another argument was made that, I guess, RE4, the original Hookman version, was supposed to be looking much better. From what we've seen in the, I guess, the little teasers we got, it did look crazy looking good. a bunch of the lighting and just generally the textures and like motion of the environment look way better. But now the product that we did get, I guess it's, I guess I could say it's a downgrade. I guess there's a bunch of graphical improvements. It's just kind of more of a downgrade. It's more straightforward and bland. But Resident Evil 4 is a pretty good game. I love it. The original, not the. I haven't played the newest one yet because just keep in mind, guys, this entry was being made before that game was out. Also, I haven't even played the game yet, so I can't even say anything about it. I don't even think there's any new entries besides that, because this guy is the poster guy for this Reddit post that I found this specific Iceberg on. It's all locked up, and the guy said he just found this somewhere on Reddit or something like that, but I don't know, guys. If you guys can help me out, this is a big one, guys. I need you guys to help me out find the original, I guess, Iceberg link, because I need to find more information on these, or if any, like, I guess answers can be found on, I guess, on the original Reddit post. Guys, I need more information. Please, guys, help me out. Jay's bar music. Alright, guys, so I found some things that this could possibly be, guys. So I found some unused dialogue with, that's not bar music for, I guess, Outbreak, because pretty much, guys, this is coming from Outbreak. If you guys didn't know, Jay's bar music essentially is talking about Jack's bar from Outbreak, first Outbreak, the first one and second one too, depending on what you play the scenarios. But essentially, from what I found one old post from like a PS2 games forum. Essentially, someone's like, guys, what's the music like happening when the zombies come in? You can't really find an original soundtrack for a specific part, just like that sequence. Also, begin before any of the zombie outbreak stuff happens. Like when they're in the bar, just everyone's just around there. The music playing. People say they can't find that particular song. I couldn't find it either. I couldn't find maybe Regina outfit. Alright, guys. So in RE3, Jill's able to unlock a outfit that looks resembling to Regina, essentially a character from Dino Crisis, and that's pretty much about it. You can unlock it. Looks kind of, I think it looks kind of funny looking, like on Jill. It looks kind of funny, guys. But that's pretty much about it. References to bands. Alright, guys. Pretty much Resident Evil is notorious for having a bunch of references to Queen, like the, I guess, Billy Cohen's tattoos, pretty much saying, let me go to this again. Mother Love, pretty much song made by Queen. And then the jacket of, I guess, Redfield, you know, Chris, and also Claire. On the jacket they'll say "Let Me Live," which is pretty much an homage to the album by Queen named Made in Heaven. And that's pretty much about it. There's nothing else to this besides a bunch of references to Queen, and that's about it. Mutated gorillas. Alright, guys, back in the original RE1, there was a journal entry that referred to something to, I guess, a skinned gorilla. And people assumed that to be like a hunter. But nah, this kind of led up to some, I guess, unused stuff for, I guess, Resident Evil 1.5. Essentially, it's Resident Evil 2, but like the beta, whatever, alpha, pretty much the scrapped version of the game. I found some footage of the supposed enemy. It seems like kind of like a boss, more of the just like enemy type, because the entry says gorillas, but supposedly this was supposed to be an enemy or like a mini boss you could fight in RE2, but it's been scrapped. I'll show you guys a clip from 2006 from this channel that only has one upload from 2006 December. Like, what the heck? It sounds too good to be true. This guy labeled the video all clips, like footage from RE 1.5. Like, I don't know, guys, this channel seems kind of like, I don't know, the channel was created back in 2006, but like for him to have all that footage is like, why? What the heck? It's kind of too good to be true. But I'll show you the clip here, guys, to show you what I'm talking about. RE4 Rising of Evil. So there's a PC mod for RE4. Essentially what it just makes the game harder. That's about it. More enemies, shit ton of enemies, different like not different scenarios, but different areas, new puzzles, different item locations. It's essentially a different game at that point. It's RE4, but just everything's placed out different, new things and new gun sounds. It's pretty much just a challenging mod. That's pretty much about it. That's pretty much what the emphasis is about. It's just supposed to be harder and a different experience. That's about it. RE3's enhanced ammo. Alright, guys, dilemma time. So essentially, I'm not sure if this entry is referring to this. Essentially, if you guys don't know, in RE3 there's enhanced ammo. To get this enhanced ammo, essentially for any kind of gun type, well, essentially it's only for the, I think, handgun and the shotgun, I believe, from what I recall through my gameplays and through speedruns. You can only get this enhanced ammo if you use the reloading tool, which is an item you can use to make more ammo for yourself. If you use it 8 times for a specific type of ammo, you get this like nice ammo. It's like enhanced ammo. That's what it is. It's just stronger ammo, and you keep getting it after you keep using it. It doesn't like cancel out, or you can't really go back to the old stuff. But the dilemma is that essentially, if you go out, kill Nemesis free and willy, if you can kill Nemesis, I believe on hard, he drops like gun parts and other like helpful things. You know, like a medic backpack, little mini thing. Pretty much you can carry like 3 freaking first aids, which is pretty nice. But if you can kill Nemesis, you get these parts to make these special guns. Essentially, you make something called like a M37, which is a shotgun, and you make the Eagle 6.0. Essentially, it's like a better handgun. It's like a purple. Essentially, it's supposed to be like I guess a contest pistol. But with these guns, you can't use the enhanced ammo, which is like, why did the developers make these enhanced guns? Were they trying to like retroactively trying to make you use the old guns, like keep on using them, or was this enhanced ammo for something else? Or they just messed up and forgot to include the enhanced ammo being able to use with like the newer guns? Well, not newer guns, but you know, the guns that we create. So yeah, you guys can see the dilemma there. Like, why did they make enhanced ammo if you can't use it on the newer guns? It's kind of jacked up. Squirts. Guys, this is another controversial one. So people pretty much are fighting against if whatever an RE3 original, if Jill's wearing squirts or a skirt. I personally don't really know, guys, because I'm not really I'm not one of those fucking weirdos that look up, I guess, video game character skirts, I guess. I say it looks like a skirt. If you guys don't know what a skirt is, essentially it's like a fake skirt. It's just like a little jean pants material in the bottom of it, and it has like a skirt on the outside. That's pretty much what it is. But honestly, I don't really. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Just say it's a skirt. Ganado wearing Leon's jacket. So back in RE4, the original and the new one, I suppose, at some point when you're playing as Leon, you get captured and they jack your jacket. So one of the Ganado, I guess, steals it. The only way we know this is because when you play separate ways, essentially it's like a different game mode of the game. You play as Ada. I think in the new Resident Evil 4 remake, they have that, I think now. It's been recently, it just came out, so you can see Ganado wearing Leon's jacket, and you can interact with, like, I guess, the Ganado that has it, like, when you kill them. It's pretty funny. They got that Leon drip. Late 90s music remixes. Alright guys, for this one I couldn't find anything on this one. So if you guys know anything, let me know, because I looked on Reddit, YouTube, I don't know, I looked through a bunch of websites, guys. I couldn't find anything on this one. I'm not sure if it's implying maybe how, I guess, Capcom used music from like way back then when they were making Resident Evil games and changed it up for their own games, but I don't know, guys. I couldn't find anything on this. So if you guys know anything, let me know. Rejected George Romero's script. So back when the original Resident Evil movie was being created, there was a script pitch from George Romero, and like, I guess it was supposed to involve the main characters from Resident Evil, you know, Chris and Jill. And I guess it was dropped because it had like a 17+ rating to it. It was really violent. And that's pretty much about it. People say that, I don't know, people have their own criticism, you know, like, oh, they like the movie that we got, but like, I don't know, it's kind of interesting, you know what I mean? Have a different Resident Evil movie through George Romero's take. So I don't know, I guess it would have been cool. There's scripts outside, you know, online you can see. And there's people doing announced videos saying like, oh, talk about this, you know, situation, but it's pretty cool. Cindy's bunny suit. In Resident Evil Outbreak, there's a character named Cindy. She's a playable character. And essentially, they have alternate costumes in the game. And for her, there's a bunny costume. And it's kind of fair to get. It's not super hard to get. It's just that you require inserting items to make, not necessarily make, but to unlock this, I guess, alternative costume. And that's pretty much about it. Invisible jet ski. So there's not much to this one besides that it's a glitch in RE4. And now I'm gonna just show you a clip, guys, to show what I'm talking about.
Hang on, sweetheart.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Alright guys, so there's a lot of discussion online saying how Leon from like the older games looks like Leonardo DiCaprio, and also Steve from Resident Evil Code Veronica looks like Leonardo DiCaprio when he was younger. That's pretty bad. People are just arguing like, oh, they're based off Leonardo DiCaprio, but I don't know, guys. Honestly, I don't really see the resemblance, but maybe like jawline for like Steve, but anything else, not really. Misty. Alright guys, I need your help with this one because I'm tripping balls on this one. I don't know if this one's real or not or fake. So essentially, this Misty character, it's just a code name for Samantha Chambers. So you're like, what the fuck? Rebecca's last name? What the hell? So yeah, this is supposedly, I guess, her long lost twin sister. I guess in the RE game, she's pretty much the zombie. I'll show a picture here. Pretty much the red tank top zombie with green shorts. She's in pretty much all the Raccoon City games. But then again, like, I'm looking through a fandom page. So I'm like, who made this wiki article? And then it's like, I couldn't find any more information on this besides a bunch of deviant art. I'm like, is this shit true? And also I've seen some links of like manga, like I guess artwork, but like I don't know if that shit's real. I don't know where that's from. No other context. I'm like, what? Is this like a real thing? And supposedly in the manga, like this zombie character Misty turns back to a human with the T virus vaccine. I'm like, what? This shit makes no fucking. I'm not sure. Is someone pulling my leg here or like? I don't know, because the sources I see don't really seem credible. So like, what the fuck? You guys need to help me out on this one. This is like tripping me out. Japanese version censorship. So this one is pretty much just implying how, I guess the Japanese version has like different cuts for like each game. A lot of the European US stuff gets cut out. Some of the Japanese stuff gets cut out itself. So like, I don't know, everyone has their own different tastes of like different content being removed or I guess added or, you know, just stayed in the process of the game making. But essentially, there's too many of these to list out, so I'm not going to do that. They kind of deserve a video of their own, because pretty much like every single game, most like all the games have like different changes depending on which, I guess, version you're playing, like European, Japanese, or US, so that's pretty much about it, guys. Shirrako Typewriter Special Reload Animation. Alright guys, so for RE4 original, the 2008 one, if you beat the game on professional mode, you get a lockable costume slash gun. With the costume, you get a special gun. It's called a Typewriter. Essentially what it is a Tommy gun. And I guess with it, you get like a special animation. I'm gonna play a clip here to show you how it goes down. Leon the Professional inspiration. Alright guys, so pretty much throughout most of the RE games, there's a bunch of references to, I guess, Leon the Professional. If you guys don't know, it's a really good movie back in like 1994. I'm not gonna exploit it, but just watch it, guys. So pretty much the references they account for are like, you know, a bunch of the characters named Leon, you know, Leon the main character, and then I guess Leon's sidearm, Matilda, the pistol, you know, the girl in the movie, and then another one would be like, I guess, the difficulty sliders for most of the games. They have professional, and then, you know, it's a reference to the movie, and that's pretty about it. There's just a bunch of references from that movie into the games. Lickers evolved from Crimson Heads. So if you guys didn't come from like the older games, not super old games, but like say RE1 remake, I guess they introduced this mechanic where I guess the zombies are turned to Crimson Heads. Essentially they're like a red, crazy, more feral fucking zombie with like claws, and they move really fast. Essentially, to lore wise, if these Crimson Heads were to, I guess, keep on existing or just mutate or get more damaged, they will turn to lickers. And that's pretty much just the lore base about it. I already knew this from the get-go, but I don't know. I think this should be more early in the list, because a lot of people I know, they're aware of this. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, this and that. But from what I know, the newer comers, they probably don't know this sort of thing. So gotta explain it. Unrealistic gas prices. So I couldn't find too much on this one besides some, like, I guess, super critics on bunch of forums and whatnot saying how this game's unrealistic, but I couldn't find too much specifically on gas prices. I found someone on cigarettes, something on, I forget what else, some other merchandise, but I couldn't find anything on, you know, gas prices. I found one for, I guess, RE2, the, you know, the remake, I guess, say how they got the prices down, like, for the gas prices, but anything else I couldn't find, guys. Maybe I'm looking somewhere else, or I'm supposed to be like typing in something else like different, maybe like a specific game, RE5 or something like that, but I couldn't find anything, guys. So if you guys know anything, let me know. Alright guys, that's pretty much about it for this part. We're gonna do part 4 later on, but remember guys, these take time to do, And also, this one wasn't really popping, guys. From if you guys see my channel, the first video I made was on Resi, but it didn't really pop too much. Probably because the thumbnail shit's really crummy. Hey guys, I'm trying to learn the trade, so come on, be patient with me. But any newcomers that came from my new videos, I'm sorry guys if you guys don't like this sort of content, but I was trying to finish this from a long time ago in the get-go, but I wanted to stretch out and do different things, so please guys don't hate on me. Also guys, housekeeping stuff. I got a Patreon. Please like and subscribe. Share my videos because I need this stuff to be popping because I want to get this information out to everyone out. And peace out guys.